Thanks, Laura. Putin's asymmetric assault on democracy in Russia and Europe, implications for U.S. national security. This is the report that we are releasing today. It's about 200 pages, exactly 200 pages.
Process itself, which, at least as far as I know.
And we recognize the importance of presenting to the American people a comprehensive understanding of what Russia's game plan is. We knew after the 2016 elections that we were vulnerable. But the 2016 elections was just a small part of Russia's overall design to try to, Mr. Putin's design, to try to compromise democratic institutions.
Have a hard stop to leave here 5 minutes before the act.
The countries that have achieved a degree of success all have one thing in common: political leadership who publicly said enough is enough, and from there mobilized their bureaucracies to respond. This unfortunately stands in sharp contrast to our current situation in the United States.
By this kind of malevolent news.
Following attacks like Pearl Harbor, 9/11, U.S. presidents have rallied the country and the world to address the challenges facing the nation. Yet today, the current president of the United States still barely acknowledges the threat posed by Mr. Putin's repeated attacks on democratic governments and institutions, let alone exercises the kind of leadership history has shown is necessary to effectively counter this kind of aggression. Never before has a U.S. president so clearly ignored such a grave threat and a growing threat to U.S. national security.
He served in a certain three-letter.
Here in the United States, we must respond with urgency to this threat. If we don't, the regime in Moscow will be emboldened to undermine European stability again, and the United States interfere in our midterm elections of 2018 and our presidential elections of 2020. Make no mistake about it. Mr. Putin will push as far as he's allowed to push if we don't push back.
But we're not going to talk about the border in this.
Mr. Trump must show unequivocal presidential leadership to mobilize our government and the American people. He should immediately declare that it's a U.S. policy to counter and deter all forms of Russia hybrid threats against the United States and around the world.